Good morning. Welcome to Morning Coffee with me, Jen. It's nice to be back. It is a Monday. My kids don't go back to school till tomorrow, but I have the morning. So here I am. I don't have anything planned yet. It was kind of a bit of a run this morning. I got the kids over to my mom's place and then came home. And if anybody saw that picture on Twitter, it didn't show very much. It is cold and snowy here. According to the internet, it says it's minus 20. There's a bit of a wind, so it feels a little chillier, but it's not super cold. It's actually really nice to be out and about. I got good and sweaty on my walk, so that's good. My basement doesn't feel like it's so cold it's going to kill me. Also good, because that's where I hang out. So let's get started here with, of course, coffee. I'm still drinking that Kenyan coffee that I have, and then I have a few more bags from that last order to go through. So I'm not quite in the market for new coffee yet. This is good coffee too. I like this, but that's no surprise. I like most of the coffees, even the weird ones. Very tasty. So I was thinking about trying to talk about the news this morning, but not a lot has happened other than burning down the parliament in South Africa. That was a bit of a thing. But I don't know enough about the history of that, so maybe that's what I will start with, is looking up that history. There are many places in the world that we don't know about or don't know enough about, so let's take a look here. Oh, maybe if I share my screen, it would be more exciting for y'all, because then you can see what I'm doing. And it would be funner. There. Okay, so let's see here. I have... Okay, so there's a whole pile of news here. This place looks like a good place to start. The other thing I wanted to get out there for anyone who is able to be watching this morning... invalid authority certificate. I'm pretty sure it's okay. On Saturday, I did a Stretchy Saturday, and it was a ton of fun. It's not letting me access this. Oh, dang. Saturday was a ton of fun. So if anybody else wants more Stretchy Saturday, let me know, because I'm happy to do it. It might end up being slightly later in the day rather than first thing in the morning. I don't know. I would figure it out. It's one of those things where you can watch it live and then watch it anytime after and just hang out and stretch a little and have some fun. There's always one challenge stretch that usually involves falling over and laughing, because it's actually hard. And otherwise, it's a good time. So I'm going to take a look here. Okay, I just tried this, and it told me that it was an unsafe website, so maybe this will be better. Come on, internets. I don't think my internet's is dead. Oh, but it makes sense if their website was hosted at the Parliament building and it burned down. I don't know. Let's take a look at the Twitter, maybe. Maybe this will give me more. Oh, maybe it's going to load. Maybe. Super slow, but hey, here we are. Okay, so Parliament of the Republic of South Africa. So first off, I had no idea it was a republic. Now I know. Update on the fire incident. Let's read about that and then see if I can get some history here, if it loads. Keep my coffee hot. All right. They're going to address the media. Okay. Well, that was super not helpful. Okay, so let's see. I don't know much about South Africa, so I'm going to start with about the Parliament and see what happens. What can I learn? Okay, Okay, what are the members of parliament? I have a parliament, so I understand how that works. There's constitution. New constitution was adopted in 1996. Okay. It is the laws that people agreed on, blah, blah, blah. There's an executive, a legislature, judiciary, rights and responsibilities of the people. Okay, so what I was really hoping to find was the historical information on the building. I am not sure where I would find that. I think I'm going to have to Google it. This might be a little better. The Houses of Parliament of South Africa are situated in Cape Town. The building consists of three main sections: the original building from 1884 and additions from the 20s and the 80s. The newer additions house the National Assembly, which is the lower house, and the original building houses the upper house. Okay, the original building was designed in a neoclassical style, incorporating features of Cape Dutch architecture. The latter additions have been so designed as to blend with the original building. It's been declared a National Heritage Site. Well, that's double extra unfortunate then. Oh, good morning. Tiny Mrs. B. Hey. We're kind of new to each other here. It's good to see you, sort of. I guess you see me and I don't really see you, but it's exciting anyway. Let's see here. We're looking up the history of the Houses of Parliament in South Africa because they burned them down yesterday. So, and by they, I mean I don't really know who burned them down or why, but I'm curious now. So let's see here. Queen Victoria granted permission for the establishment of a parliament in the Cape Colony. So colonial. I have feelings about that, but whatever. MPs noted the Masonic Lodge building was unimposing and did not command any respect. Ooh, big deal. They looked for designs, blah, 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 blah. So, commissioned, it was delayed. Then the British overthrew the Cape government. Great. Confederation Wars. Oh boy. And finally, the building company went bankrupt in 1983. The job was completed in 1884. Relatively stately but unpretentious. I would disagree based on what I see. If this is the old assembly building right here, apparently. And this is the stately but unpretentious. I would disagree. In a place, if there's anywhere where anybody's living in poverty nearby, this is not stately and unpretentious. It is very pretentious. It is full of pretty designs and details, like the things at the top of these columns here, whatever the heck, these little swoopy, these thingers. Are they gargoyles? I don't know. But anyway, no, they don't look like gargoyles, but they're very not unpretentious. So I'm calling you on that, Wikipedia. Anyway, there we go. There's a bit of history. Then in the 1920s, there was an extension built. It was made to look a lot like the old place. Whoop-de-doo. During the morning of January 2nd, 2022, a fire broke out in the third floor offices and spread to the lower and upper houses. By mid-morning, fire crews were still attempting to control the fire. The buildings were severely damaged, and it was reported that the sprinkler system had not functioned correctly, and protection services staff were not on duty. Police confirmed that a 49-year-old man has been detained for questioning. He was subsequently arrested by the Hawks Priority Crime Unit. He was reportedly charged with arson, housebreaking, and theft under the National Key Points Act and is due to appear in court on January 4th. The end. Okay, well, but what were his motives? Yeah, well, anyway. So I know a little bit more than I did. Not a lot, but a little bit. So let's go to the news. Let's see. CTV has the most current. Their stuff doesn't always load for me, so that's a thing. Fire crews have continued to work at South Africa's National Parliament Complex in Cape Town on Monday after a major fire blazed through the buildings a day earlier, causing extensive damage. Okay. So, let's see. Does not look like. Oh, the man they charged had to be rescued from the fire. So I don't think he planned it out very well then. Unless he was trying to die in the fire, but then why would he steal stuff? So, yeah, there's some pictures. Let's look at some pictures. Good morning, Bob. Here's some pictures. It's on fire. That sucks. Now I know a little bit more than I used to. So that's a heck of a way to start the new year, I think. Let's see what other news we have today. Maybe there's news. I don't know. It's been a really dull holiday for news. I wasn't finding really doodly squat yesterday at all. So let's see. Let's try. Oh, Bob has to go back to work tomorrow. Well, me too. I mean, here I am. Let's see what else we have. I don't know, CTV. I never look at CTV. I usually look at CBC, so let's see what they have. Is their world news any good? Okay, Epstein. Somebody forced to eat pizza despite religion. Okay, this is not super new. Let's see. Brazilian president hospitalized. Didn't he have COVID? I feel like that was something that happened. Abdominal discomfort. Oh, well, he'll probably be fine. Yeah. Uncomfortable, but fine. Let's see here. COVID, Canada. Oh, they're going to have new restrictions in Ontario for COVID. They're not going to have restrictions here, and they probably should, but whatever. I'm not going to argue with it. I am not in charge. Ooh, meteor show. Let's see here. This is my kind of thing. Quadranted meteor shower. Okay. Expected to peak in the overnight hours from Sunday to Monday. Okay, so it happened. Strongest meteor showers of the year. And it was cloudy here. Well, okay. That was the thing that happened. And what else have we got? Classic BlackBerry phones will stop working on January 4th. Does anybody still use these? If you have a classic BlackBerry phone and you still use it, tell me, because I'm curious. Starting January 4th, the company will stop running support for its classic devices, running the particular OS and earlier. All of its older devices not running on Android software will no longer be able to use data, send text messages, or access the internet, or even make 911 calls. So, last version of BlackBerry's operating system was launched in 2013, and the move to discontinue support for its phones represents the end of what was once considered bleeding-edge technology. True thing. Licenses its brand to other phone manufacturers. Okay. BlackBerry's Android devices are not affected by end of service. So yeah, and they had physical keyboards. It's interesting. I tried using a BlackBerry once. A friend had one, and she asked me to look something up on it, and I had a very hard time finding the thing I was supposed to be looking up, and it was very slow. And I'm not saying anything about that, slow, whatever. My computer was that slow too, so it's not like it was unheard of for whatever time it was, but it wasn't very intuitive. And that's really all I can say about it because I didn't own one. I was one of the last people I know to ever get a smartphone, so I'm not certainly the best to comment on that, but no more support for them. Let's see. Ooh, digital loonie. Are we getting into crypto here? Like with our real money? Internal government documents show finance, blah, 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 believe there could be, blah, blah, ever issued its own cryptocurrency. Oh, they actually talked about it. Okay, this is fun. The Bank of Canada has apparently spent years looking at whether to introduce a digital currency, but so far hasn't seen an immediate need to issue one. Well, I would argue differently. If their COVID hit and we had a digital currency, a lot of things in life, like businesses suddenly not accepting cash, could have been easily avoided had we all been equipped to simply use a fiat crypto. So cool. There would be wide-reaching implications for the economy and the financial system. Would there, though? I don't know. The last time I used cash was well over a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago. So I've been operating with digital currency since then. Like basically since COVID started and businesses stopped accepting cash, I stopped using cash. I can pay with my cards everywhere. And I'm trying to think of anywhere that I haven't been able to. I think there might have been 1 or 2 places where I actually had to have cash, but I'm trying to think of what that was even for. Because if I had to have cash for something, I probably wouldn't have done it, because it would have likely involved being up close and personal with somebody, and I'm not into that. I don't think, nothing's coming to mind. I know there was one thing, though, where I had to have cash. But other than that, it's all been digital. I mean, I've been ordering stuff online, paying with credit cards, paying with bank cards, paying with PayPal. I even figured out how to get gift cards with crypto so that I can really do everything digitally. Like there's, for me, zero reason to still have cash. Even with, and that was the other thing, even with craft sales, I've ordered last year a couple things from some artists and crafters who I know for Christmas, and I was able to pay them digitally. So as far as I'm concerned, cash is dead, at least in Canada. I don't know about your part of the world. And that's something, if you are somewhere else, maybe the United States, I don't know, other countries, can you function digitally in terms of money? Is cash still a necessity? I am now curious. But I guess the question I would have about this then, I have a meeting to go to soon. If we did switch to a digital currency here in Canada, or if we had parallel digital currency and paper currency, maybe we could run them both at the same time. I don't know. What implications does that have in terms of regulation for crypto? Because if we have a fiat cryptocurrency, a digital currency that is identical in stature and regulation to all our Canadian dollar, but then we also have the cryptocurrency system that currently exists with, the Bitcoin and the ETH and the WAX and all the fun stuff, would having digital fiat change the regulation? And if it does, how? Because I don't know about the rest of you, but this whole unregulated business, DeFi, is really nice. I like not having to worry about breaking the law every time I think about playing with my shitcoins. And if they start regulating one, they're going to start regulating the others. And then I don't know, that could be a whole can of worms. So let's see here. They met with foreign officials over 2020 to gauge the implications of digital loonie on the departments and agencies. Oh, lovely. Lots of sensitive information has been blacked out under the access to information law. That's hilarious. They shouldn't be blacking anything out. It's access to information. And by hilarious, I mean slightly terrifying. That's a heck of no. Like that, if you're requesting documents under Access to Information Act, you should be getting the information. If it's sensitive, they shouldn't probably be publishing it. Anyway, that's my opinion. Some federal concerns about a central bank digital currency, with departments wanting to provide more input before a decision is made. Well, no kidding. Doodly-doo. The bank only plans to issue a digital currency if the use of physical bills for transactions plummets and one or more private cryptocurrencies, such as Bitcoin, becomes widely used in Canada. That sounds like a challenge to me. Bitcoin is maybe the most well-known private crypto, but how about some wax? And let's get that going. And I don't know. Here's my challenge to you for 2022. Do business with me in wax. Entirely. If you are an artist, if you are a crafter, if you are a person who provides services, do business with me in wax. I want to see if that could make a difference. It could be fun. Let's play. The government and central bank have paid more attention to planned stable coins whose value is less volatile, as the name implies, and are backed by cash and government securities. The use in Canada of private cryptocurrencies tied to the American dollar would strain the Bank of Canada's ability to manage monetary policy for the benefit of the country. How? He said the bank needs to incentivize private cryptos to use the Canadian dollar as backing. Okay, I can kind of get that, but they're not going to. Let's get real here. The US dollar is considered the standard. Nobody's going to back anything with the Canadian dollar, even if they probably should. It's likely never going to happen. So, okay. The government could just say, forget it, you can't transact in Canada. Well, yeah, they could. And do you know how well that would go? Real poorly. They don't want to because there are benefits to private cryptos that people like, but we also want to maintain that public good function. Really? You want to maintain that public good function? Then let me keep my crypto. Central bank digital currency is the way to go. Yeah, okay. The probability of people using Bitcoin is tied to its prevalence. The more people who adopt it, the more likely others will follow, as well as how optimistic people feel about Bitcoin's future. Digital fiat will kill other digital coins, making them illegal. That's kind of, what they just said too, hey? The government could quash everything else. So, I'm not too sure how to feel about that either. It would have to exist in some sort of parallel universe. Bitcoin adoption in Canada remains low at around 5%. Young Canadians may be more likely to use it because it is easier for them to purchase digital currency than to open a formal bank account. I disagree. It's actually really easy to open a bank account. You show up with some ID and you get a bank account. I found starting with crypto to be a lot harder because there was a hell of a lot to learn. However, sure, it's easier to purchase Bitcoin. I'm going to pretend I believe that. The Bank of Canada does not have legislative authority from Parliament to offer a digital currency. Okay. Interesting. Well, I learned something today then. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for reading this. I had no idea that any of this was ever talked about or ever done. So now I have learned, and there's a lot to learn, and a lot of questions, and there we go. Good morning, Ghetto Crypto. I see that we are late to the party. If my meeting were at a different time, I would schedule this for slightly later because that would work for me too. However, I have to get going here. I have a meeting to go to, and I haven't been to one of these morning meetings in a couple weeks here. So it's an uplift meeting. And I like the Monday meetings. I think they're good. They set the tone for the week, and everybody talks a lot, and I get to take notes, and so it's a good time. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow morning. It will be Tuesday morning coffee, same-ish time, maybe a little earlier. Hopefully, I'll get the kids to school on time. That's always back first thing after the new year. That's a thing. There is always the very, very remote chance. All work in good play. Yeah. Well, there's the very remote chance that they might decide to start school late because of the increase in COVID cases, the fact that we don't have most of our kids, younger kids anyway, aren't fully vaccinated yet. So, slight chance of that. Apparently, all the other provinces are doing it, which means there's a 99% chance Saskatchewan won't. Because why on earth would we do something as sensible as protect our children? And then, of course, there's going to be a whole can of worms now because, well, Jen, why don't you just keep them home? I like to work. That's why. But, and school's done a really good job so far. My kids haven't caught COVID. Their classes haven't caught COVID. My kids are great at keeping their masks on, keeping away from people. So, I don't know. It's a can of worms. And that's tomorrow, Jen's problem. Yep. So, bye. See you tomorrow.